It's Pops. Let's talk about some Christmas comics. No, I can't go through all of them. I can't even just give you just my favorites, and people will find some that I forget. So leave them in the comments. Let everybody know what some of your favorites are. All right, let me start with DC Special Series number 21. This is very special to me. I have a copy and I've yet to be able to part with it. It is the first artwork by on Batman by Frank Miller. 5 Christmas stories are in this one. Oh man, it's so special to me. It may not be like the best thing ever. It's from 1980. It's not really easy to find in great condition because of its age. It's not a real expensive book, but it is pricey. It's probably around $40 to $50 in great condition. So, yeah, the Batman, where it all began for Miller, it's kind of a special one for me. So I couldn't do this list without including that one. All right, I got to have some fun. Ninja Turtle, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Christmas Special number 1 from 1990. This is basically a standalone Charles Dickens Christmas Carol story from Raphael's point of view, where the ghosts visit him, past, present, future. It's kind of a interesting thing. I like this a lot. It's really kind of a fun read. I don't own a copy anymore. They go for probably around $25 to $35. The white edging on that makes them difficult to find in high grade, but it's kind of a fun little story. And if you're a fan of like the Christmas Carol type stuff, like some people are, I think that's one that you actually might enjoy. All right, Goon number 10, Dark Horse 2004. Some folks are not familiar with Goon. Goon is kind of a fun little side thing. If you've never read any of them, try one up, pick one up, try it out. This is basically another Charles Dickens Christmas Carol. It's called the complete bastardization of a piece of classic literature. Talk about having a great sense of humor and self awareness of who you are and what you're doing by turning this into a comic book. So Eric Powell writes and draws this. It's a special little holiday thing, kind of just to pay homage to the Christmas Carol, the Dickens tale that's so famous. It's got a deadbeat dad in it, always showing up late, won't work on Christmas. The son's invalid, needs medical attention. The ghosts come. There you go. Kind of the fun little thing. This is actually very economical. A lot of folks don't really read Goon or even know much about Goon. So it's one of those things where if it ever took off or ever got adapted, it would be hard to find some of these books in great condition. But this is probably going to be $10 or less. You're going to find this at a reasonable price. Again, Christmas Carol type stuff if you like that kind of thing. I probably wouldn't be on brand if I didn't stick to more Batman. If you are a fan of the Batman animated series and you really, really love the Mr. Freeze episode, just so freaking great. This is for you. This is for you. This is the best single issue from 1995. It's the Batman Adventures Holiday Special number 1. It's got a White Christmas story by Paul Dini, which is considered one of the best Mr. Freeze stories of all time. It's freaking great. Obviously, he does one on Harley and Ivy. You get a little bit of that early appearances too by Harley Quinn. Like I think this is coming to happen just a few issues after her first appearance. So it's always kind of well sought after, but not super expensive. It's around $15 to $20. And again, if you're really a big fan of Heart of Ice and that Mr. Freeze story from the animated series, this is going to be a book that you could add. It's a standalone story. It's its own thing. Super great book. Love having this one. I'm out of them again because anytime I find one that's really in great condition, I would buy it. So I know that someone out there like you would want a copy of this one. All right, I know I'm cheating. It is another Batman book, but I picked it because it's Mark Miller, right? It's Mark Millar's verse is so good, and yet this is one of those Batman stories, standalone stories. This is Legends of the Dark Knight. It, again, comes from 1996. This is a story where basically Batman is on a rampage and he's trying to recover. Quote, look, there's the title, favorite things. These are a few of our favorite things. It's the last gift that his parents left him. So, Bruce, Batman, he is ticked and he is mad. He needs to find it. Book is cheap, easy to find. You should be able to find a copy of this one pretty, pretty easily. I don't think it's going to be too hard to find. I think that this is one of those things where just chaos that's kind of, I don't even want to spoil anything from you, but I just want to let you know that Mark Miller does great work. That's all you got to say, man. Mark Miller does great work. 1996. Feel free to check that out. I wasn't really going to include anything this OG on the list, but then I thought, why not? 1950, DC Comics actually did some adaptations of this stuff. So let's go back and take a look at this one. The first Rudolph in a book. DC kind of this annual production each winter, and this was the Rudolph one. This is going to run you a pretty penny. This is like 350 books, 350 bucks if you can find it. It's very odd and very strange. Not going to have a big market for it. It's going to be one of those things that I think stores might dust off if they remember that they have them to put them out. So people are sitting on them. You might have to go to eBay to find a copy. But yeah, there's a Frosty book that I think Dell Comics did. There's books that were adapted for each one of these. And I think that this would be kind of thing, again, if I was investing or stocking things away, I would probably lean into buying a really high-end graded copy of this and just have it on the wall every year. Let it just be a family heirloom. Don't ever plan on selling it, but if you had to, there you go. So, check that out. Keep that on your radar screen if that's something that you're interested in too as well. Now, again, I've done shorts in the past and videos in the past on other Christmas comics or Christmas stories, like one from Hitman. There's a great Hitman Christmas story where he's basically out there doing his thing. But just wanted to throw something up there, get the season going. It's early in December. Let's get the vibes going for things that you could be interested in. And I appreciate you guys watching. Hit those comments. Love to hear your feedback and thoughts as well. Take care, everybody. I am Pops. Batman Holiday Special. DC Holiday Special. It's the DC. Let's start over. Eric Powell, he writes and directs this. Writes and directs. Oh, dear Lord. Eric Powell writes and draws this. It's a special holiday thing just done around this classic Carol. Christmas. Oh, man, I am really a mess today.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.